Hello, welcome back to Access at E3. We've just played Star Wars Battlefront and I am with Craig, who's the producer on Star Wars Battlefront. How are you going, Craig?
It's great to be here.
I know, it certainly is. The first thing I want to ask you, before we get into the interview, is what has the fan reaction been like? Because this is the first time at E3 you've actually shown Star Wars Battlefront gameplay to people. People have been really anticipating this for a long time, so what's it been like to finally show it to people?
Oh, it's been fantastic. I cannot stress how great the reaction has been. I mean, our trailers are fantastic. We do a great job of showing it. But really, for us developers, the big thing is getting hands-on. It's getting our players actually in there and experiencing it. Seeing Star Wars, hearing Star Wars, and really feeling it.
Because when we first saw the first reveal of it, everyone was like, it's not going to look that good. And then the gameplay comes out and it does look that good. So, can you just give us a little bit of insight into, what the Frostbite engine enables you to do and, how you're able to push the visuals and really nail that authenticity?
Yeah, absolutely. So our Frostbite engine is a great engine to work with. Super proud to be, working with it. We have the latest version for Battlefront. And when you talk about this authenticity, that really nails it on the head. We've had a great partnership with Lucasfilm. We've been to the original site, so we've been to locations where they're filmed. We've been into the hallowed archives of Lucasfilm, so we've photo-scanned the original props from the movies and be able to bring them into our game. We use photogrammetry so that we're essentially taking pictures of all angles so that we can render a photorealistic model. And we are going to all lengths to make sure that this is the ultimate Star Wars experience for you.
I was just visually, but we're just looking at the movement of the stormtroopers and how they move. You guys must have just sat there watching the movies for just hours and hours and hours and hours. What kind of research do you have to do above just going to Lucasfilm and getting all these renders to make sure you absolutely just nail it on the head?
We're all huge fans. We love Star Wars. We've watched the movies a million times. We've watched shows. We played the games. And we've also done a lot of mocap as well, some motion captures to try and really help that. We've been in contact with the actual people who did the stunts for the movies as well. So it's truly an authentic experience.
Another thing that DICE is renowned for is its audio. And one of the things that really puts you in that Star Wars universe are the sounds of the blaster rifles, the sounds of the laser guns. How important is it for you to just get that sound absolutely right?
It's incredibly important. So much of that experience is the audio that you hear. Those blaster sounds, the vehicle sounds. So we have the original sound bites from the movies, so it sounds exactly like them. We even sent a number of our sound designers over to Lucasfilm, to the Skywalker Ranch to work there. That was such an incredible privilege. And they worked with the audio people there, and I think we nailed it. I think we hit it on the head here.
Absolutely. And getting into the gameplay of it then, what can you tell us? Because we played a couple of bits today. We played the wave mode, the two-player co-op, split-screen co-op, and we played a massive multiplayer battle on the planet of Hoth. What can you tell us about the modes you've got in there and how they differ and what they're like?
Yeah, absolutely. So the split-screen version is survival on Tatooine. This is one of our missions, and you can play this single-player, cooperatively split-screen or co-op online. And split-screen, that's a really great thing to mention because, Star Wars is for everybody. Everyone should be able to experience it. So split-screen really allows you to bring a friend around to your house and play it. You only need one console, one TV, or you can share it with your kids. It's all about those rebels who are trying to survive against the might of the Empire wave after wave after wave. And then you talk about Walker Assault. That's one of our big multiplayer modes, and it's inspired by the Battle of Hoth that you see in The Empire Strikes Back. So you have this Imperial force going forward with these massive AT-ATs trying to take out that shield, that power generator, and then the rebels desperately trying to stop them. It's an amazing experience. That's one of my favorite parts from the whole of Star Wars is that battle.
Absolutely.
So to be able to bring it to people in the way we have is it's incredible.
We've seen Tatooine, we've seen Hoth in the trailer, we saw the moon of Endor. Are you able to give us any kind of hints or what other locations you've got in the game?
Yeah, absolutely. You've missed out Sullust. So Sullust is it is referenced within the films, but what we've done is we've worked really closely with Lucasfilm to actually bring it to life visually because it hadn't been brought to fans in that way before. So it's been a lot of work, a lot of research. We went off to Iceland where we did a lot of our photo capture, and it's just fantastic to be able to enhance the Star Wars universe in the way that we have.
And you're able to tell us, getting a little bit kind of deeper into the gameplay, the weaponry that's available to you, and also we had like a loadout with special, like a barrage and like a shield that we can deploy. Can you give us a little bit of insight into what equipment you've got available to you in the game?
Absolutely. So we have almost every weapon from the original trilogy series. So you've got the E11 standard Stormtrooper rifle. We have Boba Fett's EE3. We got the DH-17. We've got them all. And then those cards that you mentioned, that barrage or the personal shield, that's part of our star card system.
Yeah.
And so in Battlefront, we don't have classes. We allow you to create your experience, almost create your own class. So you can get a number of these different cards. So if you're a defensive player, you'll bring in the shield, you'll bring in some others. If you're more offensive, then like you say, that barrage, which is essentially a three-shot grenade launcher, awesome for taking out a group of enemies.
Absolutely. And when I was playing the multiplayer, one of the things I really wanted to do as a rebel was fly in an X-wing. It's like, oh man, I'm probably going to have to take down like 10 enemies to get an X-wing or something. But you don't have to do that. Can you tell people how easy it is if you want to fly one of these things? You don't have to be an elite, just got a 20 kill streak player to actually do that.
Absolutely. I mean, we say Star Wars is for everyone, and we reflect that within our game. So, I mean, we could have done a number of things. We could have put it in the menu system, but then we find that people actually sit in the menu and they're not enjoying the experience. They're just waiting, and we didn't feel that was the right way to go. We could have made it a kill streak reward, but then that only means that the top 10 or 20% will ever get to experience this. And we want everyone to experience it. So what we've done is we put these within the map. So as you go through the map, as you explore and run around, you will come across these. So you could have the worst round ever. You could be going like 0 for 10, 0 for 15, and then come across one of these X-Wings or these hero characters, and then suddenly round changes. So it's a wonderful moment that anyone of any skill level can experience.
I mean, I did have one of those moments where I was getting absolutely annihilated by a walker with a laser cannon. All of a sudden I find a smart rocket and it's like,
exactly.
And he's down. I mean, that kind of, just minute change in the kind of how the battle is flowing. Is that what you wanted to make it feel like, any change, any time that the tide of the battle could change?
Absolutely. We didn't just want to limit you to the choices you made before you got into the game. We wanted the game to be able to change dynamically when you're in it. So, you choose your weapon, you choose your start cards, you go in, but then, as you say, you have these power-ups, you have vehicle pickups, you have the hero pickups. All of these things allow it to change and flow from a moment's notice. So you could be going with your rocket launcher, picking it up, and then suddenly, I'm an X-Wing pilot, this is amazing, taking down TIE fighters, and then suddenly you then manage to get to be Luke Skywalker and doing the ultimate and fighting Darth Vader.
I was going to come on to that, just to wrap up. Like, obviously the most iconic weapon is obviously the lightsaber, and we've seen Luke and Darth Vader appearing at the trailer. How are they going to fit into the game, and how do you get to play as them?
Yeah, so that works through our pickup system in the same way. As you explore and run through the map, there are random locations where it can spawn. So as you're exploring, you pick it up. It's then time-based. So once you've picked it up, you've got about 30 seconds or 15 seconds to use it, because we don't want you holding on to it. We want everyone to be able to try and experience this moment. And then you transport into that character. And then you have full control. So he has his own cards that you can use. So these special abilities, and you control the swinging of the lightsaber, and you actually control that battle.
So how powerful are Luke and Darth Vader going to be in this game? If you're Luke, all of a sudden, how challenging is it going to be? Are you still going to be able to be taken down by enemy troops? Or is the lightsaber pretty much invincibility? So
when you turn to one of these hero characters, you do become very powerful. We want you to feel powerful. So as Luke, you can cut people down almost instantly with a lightsaber. You can deflect blaster shots back at them. But they do have a weakness. If you band together as a team and try and surround them and flank them, then you can bring them down. But you need to work as a team.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time, Craig.
Thank you.
The game's looking and playing absolutely amazingly. That is Star Wars Battlefront. I hope you like it. Comment below, tell us what you think about the game, and don't forget to subscribe because we've got absolutely loads of videos coming up all over E3.